You're now listening to the Zod and Drea podcast.
All right, we're here.
We are back.
We're here again. This is just another podcast from Zod and Drea, and we're about to spit it out to you again just to entertain you for the next 30 minutes.
We are totally devoted to you for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, you got our attention. And hopefully we got yours, because we got another couple of topics that we're going to be talking about today that's going to be a little wild and, crazy, and not really, but we're just going to probably have
I like the build-up.
But we're going to probably laugh a lot. So make sure, you're in a good mood to be able to hear some of the good, shit that we're just going to be spilling out on your ears today.
One topic for conversation today is we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian and her robbery incident that happened.
Yeah.
And it'll be an interesting spin on what we talk about.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about your boy.
All right. So, obviously, you've been watching the news lately and seeing, your boy, Donald Trump, acting a fool.
Don't you dare in that sentence.
Acting a fool. But we don't want to talk about Donald Trump so much, and his rape allegations and the fact that he admitted he's a sexual predator. We don't want to talk about that. What we want to talk about is the other guy.
You know what guy we're talking about.
We're talking about my man, Billy Bush.
I mean, how can you be in entertainment and have that name as long as
Billy Bush? So we're going to be ripping on Billy Bush for like 5 minutes for no fucking reason except to just talk about Billy Bush.
He just deserves it because of that name.
Billy Bush. His name is Billy. Anyway, we're going to catch on to that in a minute. And then obviously we're going to hit up on our topic of the week, which is going to be a fun one because, this is a question that we've been talking about ourselves in our relationship. But, just wondering, using us as an example, but just seeing how other people react to it. But does monogamy go against natural human behavior? Monogamy go against natural human behavior. So, think about your relationships, the ones that you've been into. And is that the way it's supposed to be? One-on-one. And that's it for the rest of your life. So we're going to talk about that, and that's going to be fun.
Rest of your life's a long time.
The rest of your life can be a long time. It could be tomorrow. I mean,
yeah, true.
Depending on what. Then again, you'd be lucky because you wouldn't see November 8th coming.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. No. All right, so let's get into it. We are about to start this podcast.
Yes.
And let's talk about your girl. Go ahead.
Oh, she's not my girl, but, she is the queen of media, if you will.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
For having no talent whatsoever.
None.
And I know she owns that now, but I don't get it still. So anyways, about a week and a half ago, I guess,
some shit.
It was reported that while in Paris at some secluded private house, hotel, whatever it is, Kim Kardashian was robbed. Someone, this supposedly elite group of thieves got past her security, got past all of these different ways to, get access to her, and woke her up in the middle of the night, tied her up.
Get on the floor!
And put her in a tub. And,
get in the bathtub!
And they, I think they taped her mouth shut and
shut the fuck up!
Wanting to get all of her jewelry. So supposedly the day before on Instagram, she posted herself with all of the jewelry.
You should have gone to Jerry.
With like a $4 million ring that she got from her husband. And, just flaunting her stuff, right? What she's always been doing, what she's famous for doing, right?
Look at me.
So supposedly then these robbers were looking for that particular piece of jewelry, and they actually got not only that, but her phone. They got some other stuff, but pretty much, I think they said it estimated about $10 million worth of jewelry was stolen from her house. She said that she was quoted as saying that to the police, actually, in the police report, that she feared for her life. She thought the men were going to rape her, and was just terrified. So the way that the robbers were caught was that after they left, They sped off, I think, in little like scooters. I think it was.
Babe, you know all this shit.
The rental bikes.
Fuck, you've been really following this.
Well, the reason why I've been following it is because of the aftermath. The
Dr. Dre.
The whole. Oh yeah, it is after. Huh, that's funny. I had the response afterwards. I admit I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Kardashians at all. I do think they're smart business people, but as far as what they've been responsible for in creating this image for girls to and women to think of themselves and value themselves as just objects and as just a piece of ass, and make sure you've got your fake lips, fake ass, fake tits, whatever it is, and this way you can make millions and millions of dollars and just make poses on Instagram. I don't appreciate it. But then also too, I don't condone. I mean, I don't support assault on a woman. I mean, if this truly, truly did happen, and that's the big question, did it really happen or was it a publicity stunt? Which is sad if it is true that it's a publicity stunt. If it is, a shame on you. But again, if it isn't, again, I don't support any type of assault on a woman. And I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she is going to be all right. Maybe it's just looking at assessing your priorities in life now.
Okay, you realize you talked for about 3 minutes and something straight about Kim fucking Kardashian.
And you believe I did that?
Like, I am going to reevaluate our entire relationship because you were passionate about it, about Kim Kardashian.
I was passionate about the facts because,
like,
again,
I'm going to talk about
I'm just passionate about the facts about what had happened.
I need to tell everyone. The world must listen to me.
Now you have a minute.
Man, fuck Kim Kardashian. That's my minute. You know, I can rub my nuts, which I'm doing right now. Rub my balls.
Oh, God.
Because that's about as much as I care about Kim Kardashian getting robbed. Now, she's out, apparently, now I've looked up claims that she's going to be suing people for claiming that her robbery is fake. And, you know, you got pictures of, Kanye running off the stage, whatever. Oh, my wife, I got to get her. Dude, she's somewhere else getting robbed. You might as well just finish your fucking show. And, if you're going to sit there and flaunt and floss and put all that shit up on Instagram, it's like, look at me. I'm Kim Kardashian and I'm richer than you. And you all worship me. You all love me and you want to be me. But look at all my jewelry. You know what? Maybe it's good for her that she got fucking robbed. Maybe it's good for her. Maybe she'll stop doing that shit and think of all these people as human beings instead of, quote-unquote fans, which is short for fanatics. Mm-hmm. And they do it crazy. You got people getting fucking plastic surgery trying to look like man, I just can't stand the Jenner family, the Kardashians. We just need to get back to real issues and just, wipe them off the map. Whoever robbed them, congrats, enjoy your ring, but fuck her.
Next topic. I'm like, I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Ever. Fuck all that shit.
Now, the true victim here.
Now, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Let's talk about real victims.
The victim of Trumpgate 2016.
Yeah, the dude who should have been wearing his bulletproof vest while interviewing Donald Trump like 11 and whatever years ago. My man, Billy Bush, you stupid dumbass. Oh, boy. Locker room talk.
First of all.
Oh, come on.
Get that out, okay? This was not locker room talk.
It wasn't locker room talk.
Locker room talk, okay, not like I'm in locker rooms a lot, but, been around.
Smash, what up? Yo, this is what I did.
I've been around, cousins and uncles when, they don't think I'm around as a kid. And, you hear the talk, but it's not a talk about your actions towards women, towards women, that you grab women.
No, it's not about, no. See, the thing is, in that culture, you don't, like any other code, you don't admit to crimes, okay? That's what you don't do. When you locker room talk, unless, you're in a mob, you don't sit there around a locker room and admit to crimes. Like, you know what? So I just don't wait. I don't wait for them. I just do it. I just grab that pussy. It's mine. And I can just do what I want. I'm a celebrity, so they just let me do it. So I just do it every time. Fuck that shit. And then, you got my man, Billy Bush, sitting there coaxing him and sitting there trying to. Like,
yeah. Didn't it remind you or it sound like some kind of like like junior high with the bully and all his crew around him that are cheering him on.
Like, he's like,
that's what Billy Bush reminded me.
That's what Billy fucking Bush was doing.
Yeah, just like he was part of that crowd to support the bully of the school.
I'm like, yeah, they do. Oh man, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, ooh, and then he sees the other woman from Days of Our Lives come out. He's like, oh, look at that. Billy Bush, he's like, look at that piece of ass. Look at those legs. Oh, he's pumping Trump up, and Trump is falling for the bait. And so, as a result, Billy Bush trying to come off the damn stairs, looking all innocent. Hey, I'm William Bush.
But did you hear him though when they got off the bus? When he introduced the woman then to Donald Trump, he's like, "Hey, give the Donald a kiss. What's wrong with you?" Like,
look at see, and here's the result. So 11 years later, this comes out. Billy, who didn't know this shit existed, just gets a job on the Today Show for 2 months, and guess what? Billy's now unemployed. Hey, first of all, like I said, your name is Billy. You're like fucking 45, and your name is still Billy. Motherfucker, if you're not slinging guns and your last name is the Kid, stop that shit. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Billy? I'm talking to you directly. This is the Zodiac talking. Billy, I want you to call in. You call into Zod and Dre and you tell me why you did that dumb shit. Do it.
Billy, what I want to know is how long were you doing that dumb shit? Because Billy, I bet you that was not his first time.
Man, Billy was sucking Donnie's dick.
How many other quote-unquote stars were you antagonizing like this?
Like, come on, man. Bring the tapes out, Billy Bush. Mm-hmm. Billy Bush is also George Herbert Walker Bush's nephew. His nephew.
For reals?
Yep, he's the president's nephew, and then the other president's cousin, I believe, and Jeb Bush. So he's actually a Bush. He's a Bush family member.
Like for realsy Bush?
For realsy Bush. He's a Bushy Bush.
Gosh.
He's an actual Bush family Bush of a member of Bush. So I'm sure they probably distanced themselves away from him. Like, what? You got that phone number for Billy? Hey, Billy, you got Billy, you got to stop doing dumb shit. Mm-hmm. All right? First dumb shit, you're hanging out with Trump.
True.
You fucked up. Second dumb shit, you're goating him on some shit on a bus thinking that you're going to be talking about something and meeting beautiful women. And then you got talked right into a rape scandal. Boom. Get off the bus.
You talk shit about your colleague. It was your colleague that you were talking crap about. Yes.
Nancy O'Dell.
Right. You asshole. You are an asshole. That was your colleague that you worked side by side with, and you just let her let her just be treated that way.
Now, locker room talk would be though, Nancy O'Dell would have gotten the smash. With consent. With consent. Shout out to Nancy O'Dell. Keep your head up. And we're going to go to this commercial.
Please listen carefully.
Once again, make sure you listen to the Zod and Drea podcast by subscribing to one of the following podcast methods: iTunes, Google Play, or YouTube. Visit our website at www.zodanddrea.com to go directly to the links, or if you choose, you can listen to each podcast episode directly on the website under their individual posts.
Want to get involved and have your voice heard on the next podcast? Then be sure to tune in to the question of the week on our website, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram page. And dial in and leave a message on our voicemail at 323-963-4221.
If you're an advertiser who would like to have your 30-second or 1-minute placement on our podcast or YouTube episode, please contact us at info@zodanddrea.com and we'll send you a price list. Space is limited for each episode.
The next podcast might even have you as a featured guest.
Tune in, check us out, and get involved. Okay,
and we are back.
Here we go. You love saying that.
I do. I just like, it's just such a jump start.
Where do we go?
I don't ask, but we're back.
We're back.
So the conversation today is, I think, a really good topic, and it just can, for people, either they don't feel comfortable talking about it or they love it. So we thought we'd bring it up today. Does monogamy go against natural human behavior?
You got to wonder about that. Just try to think about every relationship that you've been into, and also think about the people who have cheated on you in those relationships, or the ones you have cheated on. Why did you cheat on them? And why didn't you just break up with them and then go into another quote-unquote monogamous relationship? Mm-hmm. is it human behavior for you to not be able to see only one person and think about that, whether you're seeing them, dating them, marrying them, whatever, but for the rest of your life?
And we come across this question and we're asking of people to take away the drama, take away all of the stuff that can be brought up and covered up, I guess, if you will, with relationships now of more than just being attracted to another human being, but all of the other stuff that can be put on top of it. So what I'm saying is really looking at it as a humanistic type of thought process and actual nature. Can you be with one other opposite or person of the same sex for the rest of your life?
And what I'm thinking is even more basic than that. What about people who just use it as an animal instinct, like the purest form?
Mm-hmm.
Like in your purest form, almost think of it this way. If you had the choice and it was your world that you can be with more than one person and it's absolutely okay, would you do it? I know a lot of people say, no, I would never do that because they can't get out of that mind frame. But would they do it if they could? Is it only love that directs them and drives them to be with this one person? And does that mean that your love is only limited to one? Or is your love also able to be limited to two or more? Can you spread yourself out that much more to other people if you allow it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can. I believe that you can love more than one person at a time.
And see, I believe that if you really want to go, like you said, down to the human, like to a nature, to an instinct, then what makes that instinct any different than from us versus, let's say, two dogs in an alley?
No, it doesn't. But why should it?
What the difference is that the meaning that we make.
No, it is. That's just it. It's a meaning. We actually put meaning to it. But then if that's true, it's like, we're going to compare it to two dogs. Number one, we don't think like dogs, and we don't know how dogs think because we're not dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how they think. But they are also freer because they don't think in a way that they have to put so much logic into something. They act.
They act because they have that same, which we both animals, actually, us and dogs and other mammals, we have that in our brains, is actually that same type of drive to procreate. Yeah, to procreate. But again, we are evolved, right? We are the more evolved species.
That's what they say we are. But I mean, if you look at the planet and the destruction of the planet, are we more evolved?
Well, they go into a different type of subject.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's destroying? Like, is that really evolution or is it de-evolution? It's like we are our own destroyers. Dogs aren't, cats aren't, birds aren't. They're doing what nature intended them to do. So we are doing what nature intends us to do. But the thing is, what is it that nature intends? That's the whole point. What is it that nature intends us to do then? Is nature saying, hey, you know what? You can only be with one person and marriage is it, and we're going to lock it down. We're going to set up a religion, and now you can only be with one person until either they die or you die, and then that's it.
And it's interesting you brought up marriage, because if you really look, and we've been doing some research and studies on this too, and if you look at marriage, originally how it was established centuries ago, it was established without this romanticism that now Western civilization adds to it, right? It was used as a form of property, like to gain property or to gain resources, right? I have a daughter and she comes from this family that has all this wealth, and then she marries this guy and they can combine their wealths together and boom, you have an empire, right?
Okay. So you have an empire and everybody, procreates. Everybody's big and that's cool. The bigger the family, the bigger the fight, whatever. But still, is that human nature? Or is that something that somebody created?
No, but my point was that they didn't have to be. The whole concept of monogamy still was not part of that original the creation of marriage, if you will. So you did have, at least for the men, it was documented that they had multiple relationships, multiple children out of the marriages. We can go into what that other subject would be like if women were allowed to do some of that, depending on what society you were in. But again, the monogamy was not the basis for the marriage, if you know what I'm saying.
It's not the basic of. Here's an article that's funny. Somebody put a blog out, but I like the title of it. It asks the same question. It says, "We are wired to be polygamous, but taught to be monogamous." And it's true. It is a teaching. It's a teaching of, and it's passed on tradition to tradition to tradition, generation to generation. And it goes on down to where we have to follow a certain rule. And I think it's like if you took jealousy out of everything, if jealousy and envy never existed, then would we still be monogamous?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I know, because I'm good at what I do.
Or it might be then it maybe just won't exist because who knows? Maybe as human beings, we just be. You know what I mean?
Now, men are wired more or less to procreate. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. You know, women's out. You know, he's a dog. You know, he cheating or whatever. And that's what we do. Men are programmed. So I almost think that it's more of a fight for men to have to hold that down. And, you know, if you're comfortable where you are, you know, you just, all right, this is the rules of life. You're supposed to be with this woman. I love her. So let me just go along with it. And, you know, here are my balls. They're in this jar. You can just have them. And that's it. You know, fuck it, I can't fuck with other women anymore. So if I even look at another woman, she's gonna get mad. Mm-hmm. So I can't even, you know, that's what goes on through a guy's head. You know, once in a while, you know, women. Oh, I'm perfectly fine with. But then I swear on everything, women are the best cheaters in the world. Like you guys are just slick, quiet, and sneaking around. Like you guys are like Catwoman. I mean, just cool about it and just cheat and shit and making up the best lies.
Oh, the best lies.
I got the best lies. I got the best lies. You know, I got the best people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, guys are just so sloppy about it. And we always get caught. And then the women, oh, yeah, you be cheating on me. It's like I know too many women who have cheated on their men and were so slick about it. And it's like, even though men do it, I think, naturally, I wonder why women do it. Is it natural or is it a curiosity? Is it something, you know, they still want their man there. They still want their man there.
I think for women, it's not so much the physicality. There's something else to it. Women always have more going on when it comes to sexual engagement versus just the act. Mm-hmm. It's always more than just the act. And from what you're saying, for men, it's just the act. It's, let me get my rocks off.
That's it. Let me smash. I'm not trying to fucking be in a relationship.
But for women, there's something else always to it.
Unless you're a porn star.
Then that's different. That's your business. That's actually how you make money. That's different.
Or a prostitute. But then how do you do that? But think about that. Mm-hmm. So then does that mean that they're able to do that when there's a means to it? Like if they're able to make money, I mean, that still fascinates me. And that should be a topic, I swear, on how prostitutes or even women in porn can act just as much, if not more like guys. You know, It's like, I'm only in this for the money. Like, this is what now drives me. You can be inside me. You can do all this shit. But give me my money. And, like, walk home like it's nothing. Like, this is just what I do. I don't love him. I don't feel anything for him. Mm-hmm. Just like a guy does. A guy can have sex with several women and not even feel. Not feel for it. It's like, okay, the feeling is in the dick, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. It's the emotion comes out of the penis, and that's it. Once it's out, it's out. You know, but for that half hour or whatever, you know, cool. That's how much I'm going to love you. But, you know, for women, you know, even though they are more emotional, for some, like prostitutes or escort, like they can just do that. They can shut their mind off. Mm-hmm. So is that natural?
To shut your mind off?
Like, think about that. So they don't feel. So it's like the blockage there is money, is payment. Like there's a reasoning.
So that's not natural. So see what you're saying then? If it's not natural, because then it's something that has to be put in place for the act. Like you're saying, the blockage of the emotion, the blockage of what it has to be done. So going back to the subject then of does monogamy go against natural human behavior? Not talking about what you got to do to make money or to survive, whatever that is.
No, but
that's a different subject.
But how is it? How is it? Because you're still doing the same thing that someone else is doing. Mm-hmm. you're getting whether your rocks off or whatever, but you're still able to do that without getting emotionally attached. You know what I mean? You get yourself right.
I got myself right. I got all involved.
You know, so
my mic went flying off.
So like that's my whole thing. Like how are they able to do it? There was a certain section. Women are able to do it, is what I'm saying.
They are able. So I'm looking at like some of the okay, prostitution for survival. That's different. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that is different. That is. There's nothing else I can do in this world. Kind of situation where all I can do is make money.
That's not all. That's not, man. You've been to college. Some of these girls.
Oh no, I'm talking
free.
like what goes on in like Mexico and in third world countries.
But still, they still take the emotion out of it. They're still able to take the emotion.
Or sometimes they can't because again, it's if it's forced on them to, you must be a prostitute and you have no other choice.
That's a whole different topic.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm talking about just the emotional impact and the fact that they can de-emotionalize themselves from it. Just like a guy does naturally. So can they do that naturally? It's like, I don't care about this guy as long as he pays me. And yeah, maybe it's a whole different thing because of survival, but still it's it can get emotional. With a guy, it's the same thing, except we're just not getting paid. We do it for free. We don't give a fuck about money. We just want to get our rocks off with as many women as we want. So if we talk about that, then what about something like swingers or people in poly relationships? They then are able to express themselves naturally. Naturally. It's like, I'm married to this person, but I am now given permission to have sex with others, and fuck yeah, I'm going to take that permission, and I'm going to go with it because I'm allowed to. Just because you're allowed to do something doesn't necessarily mean you want to. Mm-hmm. But they want to. So it's like, if given that open opportunity, it's like, you're both on the same page. It's like, you can have sex with whoever you want, whatever. We make up ground rules and this and that. It's like, it's a yes. It's like, would you do it? Would you do it?
Polyamorous. So this way again, I got the definition correct. Mm. So with polyamorous, there's always a third party involved.
Yeah, there's like a third party. It's like a third mate, and they're crazy enough, they're monogamous to that third party.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy put into like maintaining that.
I do think so too, because trying to divvy up my romantic emotions into two. Which I believe, again, I think you can love two people at the same time.
But see, that's different. There's love, then there's this person's just around so I can get my rocks off.
No. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying you still can love two people, but there's always, if you love them, to me, there's going to be weight. It's going to be weighted. It's going to be on a weighted scale. I don't know if you can evenly love two people at the exact same time. In other words, let's say you and I are together. We love each other, obviously. Mm-hmm. For those listening, but then let's say Janet comes in. Hey, Janet comes in. She's part of our polygamy thing. If it came down to the fucking wire to choose one,
yes, is it me or Janet?
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be you because it's weighted. I can love Janet. You can love Janet, but
that's a love from what you're saying. Then it's not really a love where you can fully offer unlimitedness, that there's going to be limits. So it as of society today, as the human beings that we are evolved into regarding all the imprints that we've had growing up, I believe that you can't love equally two people at the same time. There's limitations. And you are resulted
so you don't
shortchanged.
Believe that you can love two people at the same time?
Not equally, no. One is going to be weighted. That's what I mean. It's weighted.
It's weighted.
Yeah, you can't do it at the same time.
Oh, man,
we can go on.
Oh man. I'm sorry. We got to end this one. We got to know what you guys think, though.
Yeah, if you think we should have a round two.
Yeah, because this is a good one.
Continue this conversation.
If there's a round two on this one, because this is a good one. This is just you and me. So
yeah,
we got to have a guest for the next one.
This is why we need your help, guys. So again, after you listen today, let us know if we should have a round two with the guest. Maybe you're the guest.
If so, express your interest to us on either our Facebook page, our website. Man, we got Twitter, we got Instagram,
Snapchat.
It doesn't matter. You find Zod Andrea, no matter what it is, at Zod Andrea, and you will find us somewhere on the internet.
And also keep an eye out for our own reports, for the Zod Report and the Drea Report on Snapchat.
On Snapchat and also on YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, cool. We have it on Instagram too. See?
All right. See? You learned something. All right, people. You take it.